Hello, my marvelous, wonderful people out there, and welcome back to the Sex, Drugs, and Jesus podcast. I am your host, DeVannonSeraphino, and I am here today to talk to you about spiritual ascension, and particularly to announce that I finished my playlist, which is a blog at sexdrugsandjesus.com, which is our website. I've been trying to work on this since last year, but everything always gets done when God is ready for it to get done. And now it is done and it is live. And I will put a link to that in the show notes. I love music, secular music. None of these are like spiritual or church songs or anything like that at all, because God speaks to us through anything he can, be it other people's lives, lessons, music, movie shows. And so I have 10 songs with one honorable mention, and I'm going to kind of go through why I think these songs speak to ascension in any type of way. The blog gets into way more detail, or at least a different kind of detail. And Sex, Drugs, and Jesus podcast is where we're at on YouTube. So ascension, Kundalini rising, a spiritual awakening, whatever you want to call it. It's tough as fuck to go through. It's very rigorous. It's like being grated through a cheese grinder, but it's a necessary part of the human soul experience to become who you are, what you are, to do whatever it is that God sent you here to do. It's a rite of passage, if you will. It's how we become something other than what we were before. Your mind will change. Your body might change. A whole lot of things about you could change when you go through an awakening, child. It is something to go through. I want to reference scripture from the Hebrew Bible, which is John chapter 20. It says, "But Mary stood without at the sepulchre, weeping, and as she wept, she stooped down and looked into the sepulchre, and seeth two angels in white sitting, the one at the head and the other at the feet, where the body of Jesus had lain." This is right after the crucifixion. Jesus is at the tomb of Jesus. And what Mary is at the tomb of Jesus. Lord help me. "And they say unto her, Woman, why weepest thou? She saith unto them, Because they have taken away my Lord, and I know not where they have laid him. And when she had thus said, she turned herself back and saw Jesus standing, and knew not that it was Jesus. Jesus saith unto her, Woman, why weepest thou? Whom seekest thou? She, supposing him to be the gardener, saith unto him, Sir, if thou have borne him hence, tell me where thou hast laid him, and I will take him away." Oh, she thought they had stole the Lord. But Jesus saith unto her, Mary. She turned herself then and saith unto him, Rabboni, which is to say, Master. Jesus saith unto her, Touch me not, for I am not yet ascended to my Father, but go to my brethren and say unto them, I ascend unto my Father and unto your Father, and to my God and unto your God. One thing I love about ascension, the way I'm understanding it, is that we ascend not unto ourselves, but we ascend for a purpose. Okay, Jesus is saying here, he went down. He was betrayed by Judas, and all the tea and shade thrown at him, and haters and accusers, and Jesus died. He went down, but he came back up. When we ascend, we certainly die. You experience ego death, all kinds of motherfucking death. It is a death, bitch. I kid you not. But we come back to life, and we come back as something other than what we were before. But we did not come back. We were not given this ascension to just have it. What Jesus is saying, I ascend unto my Father. The Lord has ascended us, or the divine, however you want to choose. I say God because that's what I believe in, but fill in the blank with whatever you want. And so what was the point of the ascension? To go and serve the divine, to do our life's purpose, to do our soul's purpose. Why the fuck did the divine bother to put us here? It wasn't to sit around and do shit, and get shit, consume shit. How are we supposed to contribute to the earth, to the ether, to the esoteric realm, to the cosmos during our time of existence? We need these ascensions to help to give us this type of power, to detach us from the status quo, to get us away from tribalistic thinking, and to be able to always hear our voice in the midst of the crowd, no matter how loud that crowd might be. And Ascension is about coming into your own mind, loving yourself, accepting yourself entirely. So Jesus ascended unto his Father. I ascended unto the same God that Jesus is a part of, the Trinity. So when you ascend, who are you ascending to, unto, for what purpose, for what means, for what end? What is the purpose of the ascension? How is this valuable to somebody other than you? I had a dream last year. Yeah, in middle-ish of last year. In this dream, I think that this was the Lord showing me like when this, maybe around when this happened. In this dream, I was arguing with the individual who, if you've been following the show, the individual who I left last year, who I was formerly in a 4.5 year relationship with, that was very abusive, narcissistic, cheating, dishonest, non-loyal individual. And the chaos and the stress of that relationship in this dream, I was fighting with him. But of course, there was some other person there because there was always some other boy, always some other person, always some other dude with him. And so even in the dream, there was somebody else there. And so I was fighting with him, but in the middle of the argument, it's like I guess it was the hand of God. It's like I fell through or was pushed through a mirror, like an oval shaped mirror in this dream. And what I understood was that it was the stress and the chaos of that relationship that activated this ascension. Now, I don't know, when I say it like that, it makes it seem like it was something that was already there waiting to come out. Maybe in the East, where they call it Kundalini risings, they look at that as a fiery serpent type energy that is unlocked from the base of the spine and then swivels its way around the spine up and out. That's one of the ways I've heard Kundalini energy described, which means like it's like locked in there. One practitioner online, I can't remember her name, but she was saying how she was sitting like in a seated cross-legged position, meditating, and she felt like her lower back snap or pop. And then she felt like that heat rise, and then that began her awakening. What I know is that with a meditation for her, I have heard intense problems can cause people to undergo awakenings and things like that. And if for my case, that was the case. Now, this person I was in this relationship ended. That is when I ended, well, the power of God ended the narcissistic cycle that I was in that started with. Do I dare call him dad? I would just say the dude my mom married. I mean, he is my dad or whatever, but might as well not be in denial about it. Or claim him. I haven't talked to him. I said, I'm here in Baton Rouge. I had said that when I come down here, I was going to have a conversation with him and about like the past and everything and see if he could finally admit wrongs rather than trying to slough off blame. But since I've been here, there's a different energy. A lot has changed within me. And it's like the spirit is just saying, don't approach him. It's like God is saying, don't go there. And so I didn't. Because I'm saying that because I had said that I was going to have that conversation and the intention was to get back on this microphone and tell you what had happened, but that is not happening because the Lord is moving in that situation and it's not for me to engage with him right now. Nevertheless, my dad was a cheating ass, a dick whore, dick slinging whore all over town. Every dude that I dated up until the last one was the same. And then I realized what the cycle was. And then the Lord broke me out of that cycle. In this dream, I see myself being pushed through this mirror. The stress of either the collective stress of that cycle culminated in on all of the abuse and the fighting that I used to have with that ex that I ended last year. So I get pushed through this mirror. I understand what caused this. This mirror, it was like it was another dimension though. This wasn't another world. This here was just, it's somewhere so far that I understood that the ex, none of his little boys or whatever he called himself having, or none of his friends, family, fucking nobody could follow me through this mirror. This was a permanent separation and a permanent division. You understand me? When you ascend, bitch, and we're going to get to this in this music, there is no such thing as trying to drag people with you from the past. You can't. It's literally impossible. Because if God bothers to grow you that way, he is not interested in you trying to hang around the fuckers you used to. That is an insult to the ascension itself. You're going to have to learn to love God or the divine as you choose to call them more than you love people, because you are here to serve the divine, the Lord, more than you are to serve people. Now, that might sound ironic since I'm all for humanitarianism and serving people, but I'm doing it as the Lord is telling me to do it. I'm not hanging on to relationships that are hindering me or hurting me because I just can't let them go and all of that shit trying to be all empathetic. Empathy needs to have bounds. Okay, it's time to cut that. There's a time that comes to cut that shit off and to stop being empathetic and to cut people loose. And so in this dream, this is how it went for me. I get pushed through this mirror as I'm in the middle of arguing with this ex, and I enter into an extended period of intense spiritual growth. Synchronicities start. I start seeing all these numerological patterns, which I had seen before, but not like this. Every day, all throughout the day, everywhere I go. If I look at a clock, a license plate, the television, if I'm on my laptop, if I'm on my iPad, if if I'm talking to somebody, there's always some sort of something matching up. I might think something, someone says it. It has been everywhere. It was not this way before, not before last year, and it hasn't stopped. Some people say it never stops. Some people say Ascensions can last for like months or years. Stuff can have you feeling like you're going out of your mind, but you're not. And this is why I love being transparent about this. And I love all the videos on YouTube and things like that where people are talking about just how batshit crazy you might think you are when you're going through this. And I was in and out of the mental hospital last year and shit up until the beginning of this year. Some of it was, I mean, I'm like, I guess some of it was the stress and some of it was the ascension. Ascension is stressful. It's not a thing that can be defined so perfectly. It, like all things, will look different for everybody, but this, above all things, above many things in this world I've encountered, is very strange. I did not know that it could work this way, that such bad problems that God, I mean, of course, God can do anything he wants, but to think such positivity, such positivity can come out of such negativity is miraculous to me. It's like mind blown, hashtag WTF, but only in the best way. And I woke up from that dream and I messaged one of the chief shaman that I know in Mexico and was talking to her about what was going on. And I was like, what in the fuck is happening? And I had many, many conversations with this same shaman throughout last year, going like, what in the fuck is happening? Because I didn't know what was happening with DeVannon was changing. This echoes the dream that I had had the year before when I was in Dubai, before everything fell apart in that relationship I was in, where I saw my mother in that car fire consumed in flames. And this was a signal of a transformation I was getting ready to go through. That was that this death that I was going to experience as an awakening. It has been just that uncomfortable. It has been that absolute and total in terms of the beautiful destruction that it caused. That fire snatched down illusions that I once held. It snatched down vain and empty, shallow belief systems. It snatched down anybody else's influence or control over me. It snatched me out of that narcissistic cycle. It made me even more authentic than what I was before. It refined me. It purged me. It purified me. But and that the same flames that burnt up all the bad shit burnt me up too. There was no way that I could receive all these benefits and say the same. That's why I changed my last name from Hubert to Seráphino, because at some point I realized there ain't none to be no DeVannon and Hubert left. Nope, nope, nope. That's old business there. We need a new name. I'm gonna do a separate show on my name change to Seráphino and all of that. There's plenty of examples in the Hebrew Bible, and I would imagine other texts too about when people underwent name changes. I'm thinking about Joseph. I'm thinking about Abraham. I'm thinking about uh, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Different people who have changed names because their path changed, their destiny changed. I always encourage people: you don't like your name, fucking change it. This is your parents gave you the name, and you have to keep it. You have so much power that you may not be thinking that you have. Surely you do. My dreams intensified, my spiritual giftings grew. And my sight, my clairvoyance, my third eye opened exponentially, tremendously. Ever since this ascension started, I started reading tarot cards. I started reading for other people. It is like, so I was going through all this sadness from the depression, from the breakup, at the same time freaking out with like joy from all the spiritual growth and the internal prosperity that I was experiencing, which were happening at the same time. So yeah, I started doing a lot of fucking psychedelics, hanging out in Mexico a lot, trying to make sense out of what in the actual fuck was going on in my head. So there are some shadow aspects of Ascension, and there are people who talk about this better than I can on YouTube. But I don't want you to be, I don't want you to get it twisted to think that besides just the uncomfortable parts of Ascension is the only bad part, or the only part that might have like a shadow aspect to it. I have to deal with hubris. 'Cause there was a point in my ascension, because I'm so like spiritually talented. I don't mean that arrogantly, but you gotta know who you are. I'm really gifted spiritually. I am. I'm spatially challenged, so I can't tell you like what a foot or an inch or a mile or 3 feet or 100 feet is. Never have been able to do that. I can't do everything, and I'm fine with that. That is just something, not something I can do. But I can motherfucking kick ass spiritually. Period. And so, but I ascended even beyond whatever my previous skill set was. And there was a point that I really realized that this is true. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm one of the strong ones. I'm very far advanced spiritually than other people. And I had to fucking struggle with like being like hearing myself say certain things. If you go back and listen to shows from last year, you could probably hear this like sort of arrogance coming up out of me as I'm beginning to realize I'm spiritually like smarter than other motherfucking people, which is something I needed to know. But at the same time, I could not judge people or exclude people, and I had to learn how to deal with people, even though I'm like, why are people so fucking stupid? Or why do they keep doing that? That's hurting them. Why do they keep? Because because when you ascend, you see shit like other people can't. You see shit really fucking clear, and you see the energetic connections and consequences and circumstances, and it all makes sense to you. And then for me, I was like, I wasn't getting it. So, but that's all been tamed and calmed down now, thank God. But dealing with arrogance popping up is something that can happen during an ascension. Isolation is necessary. No more going to the club. I wasn't out there like that. I was in my house calling on the Lord. I wasn't dating. I wasn't trying to have sex. I was, there comes a time where you pause shit to figure out what's going on with yourself. You're gonna have to isolate. That's not the cute part. That doesn't mean you cut off everything and everybody. You know who your close people are, all right? And you reach out, but you go, I mean, I was very fucking uncomfortable around groups of people, even some people I really wanted time to myself. Detachment, I had to learn to let shit go. Detachment, and I would do a separate show on detachment, is a quintessential part of spiritual growth. You must learn to detach, because everything in this world won't be here. The only thing that's eternal is you, like your soul. So the way I look at it is that we are stewards over everything that God has given us. So I have property in this city, property in this state, property in this country, and $100 million in the bank. That doesn't belong to me. It belongs to the divine, it belongs to God. I am a steward over those things. And the Lord will watch how I manage these things, how I do his people. But the only thing that will be left is God's judgment of how I stewarded these things, and this will determine my afterlife. These things won't be here anymore. All right. And so, so it's like I think I own things, I manage things, but I also have to detach from those things too. Stop taking things personally. Not everything's about me. What really helped me to detach was the fact that I had to detach from that relationship and from that individual, from that person that I was in that relationship with, because it was difficult for me to do. Because I mean, if I dedicate myself to somebody, if the dedication is like it's like a loyal cat. A cat like always come back around. Like a cat is a very like loyal spiritual being, and but I had the logical sense and the clarity from God to understand that I had to let him go. And it was the hardest thing that I've ever had to do in terms of detachment. But once I got over that, bitch, I started cutting shit off left and motherfucking right. There wasn't nothing that I couldn't detach from. Like my homeboy, shit, Sam Smith said, I'm too good at goodbyes. My God, I'm too good at goodbyes. But before that, I cringed at goodbyes. No, I'm not, girl, bye. Like the fact I keep my sword out since this ascension, I don't fight. I don't have to fight because the Lord has won all my battles for me and for us as I work with God and co-create with God and I live and serve and depend on him. Glory be to God. But just in case I need to cut a bitch off, I keep my sword, which is wrapped in fire and lightning, to let die what needs to die and to sever that which needs to be severed. Boundaries. You don't have to, even if you don't want to fully cut somebody off, your boundaries are gonna have to become concrete. You will, once you receive an ascension, you're gonna want to protect that motherfucker better than Smeagol trying to protect that goddamn ring. You're gonna be like, my precious, fuck that. Y'all ain't, y'all motherfuckers ain't fucking this up. I went through too much to get it. You're gonna feel like Tina Turner at the end of What's Love Got to Do with It. She like, I gave up all that other shit. Tina Turner detached from everything all the money and all the physical things that her and Ike Turner made together. She let that go to keep what was valuable, which was her name, her honor, her value, what truly had value. She said, I give all that other shit up, but not my name, your honor. She had to keep that. She wasn't about to let that shit go. And it's just a part of it. Them boundaries don't have to be there. You're gonna have to check people. And if they try to cross those boundaries and take your sword out and cut them off, excommunicado became my favorite word of last year. Excommunicate. And then overall, this you need to give yourself time to learn your new self, discover who you are, take yourself on dates, get into more masturbation and things like that and get away from having sex with people, because when you are ascending, to include getting off of fucking apps and shit like that, because if you're truly going through an ascension, you're going to be so fucking sensitive. It's like a sponge, and like shit would you just will feel vibrations and energies and just pick up on shit you have never picked up on before. You do not need to do yourself the disservice of swiping through apps, be it Grinder, Tinder, Scruff, whoever, because every image is an energy, is an energetic signature, and you're just gonna like fuck yourself up by doing that. But you're mastering detachment if you're ascending, so you're gonna actually see how low vibrational apps are. You're probably gonna remove yourself from them because that's for people who are still in the matrix. Like people who have ascended I don't fuck with apps. Like I have not yet talked to somebody who's ascended who's actually on an app. That's for people at a lower vibration. And so, but sex and all of that, you need to take time, masturbate, get to know yourself, know who you are, learn your new body. My body has physically changed. It's not even the same body that it was before. Everything has changed. If I would have been trying to like date somebody and be with somebody or be sexually active, I could not have paid attention to the changes that were going on with me for trying to pay attention to what's going on with them. You must get away, isolate, spend a lot of fucking time with yourself, take trips by yourself, Of course, you're not by yourself because you're always with God, right? We're never really alone. We got our ancestors, angels, all these people around us. But these basic ass low vibrational humans that could fuck up your growth, put that shit, cut them off, or at the very least put shit on pause until you have a chance to reassess shit. Because as surely as you're ascending, shit is not the same. It won't look the same. Food tastes better. The sky is prettier. I mean, everything is different. It really makes all the trouble that I went through before look like nothing. I say that now. You rewind back to videos the bitch was going through last year, but she's not anymore. Okay, the shit is cute. Shit is real cute on my end. All right, shit is real cute. And so it was worth it. It was so fucking worth it. And that's how it is when you walk with God. He can accelerate your time. He can give you time back. He can do all kinds of things while the fools out there letting Lucifer siphon their time away from them while they mindlessly waste time on blank pleasure that does not profit them, but it slowly kills them over time, and they don't seem to know it. Anyway, first song is song number 10, which is by a group called Information Society. This is a group. I'm quote Wikipedia here. It's an American band from Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota, initially active from 1982 to 1997. I think their first hit was the song called What's on Your Mind. This song here, some of the lyrics says, "Cause I'm walking away from things in my own past. I'm walking away from things that move too fast, things that just won't last." Throughout this song, these guys are talking about how this guy was fighting with this person and all of this and that. And it's like he just had enough of this bitch. And he was like, okay, you're be gone. And the choruses keep saying, "Cause I'm walking away from," and that's what stuck out to me, because a huge part of Ascension for me was walking away from that which does not serve, that which wasn't helping, that which was never going to change, that which I can only change me. I can't change nobody else. Um, you got to walk away. You got to walk away, and you have to learn to be okay with walking away. He said things that move too fast. When you ascend, you can see the true speeds of things and what's too much. I'm very extreme. Sagittarius, Scorpio, I live the four extremes. But there are some things that I view now differently, and even I go, that's too much. I'm like, that's too much. I wasn't like that before. I wasn't interested in anything being too much. It's like an ascension speeds you up, but also calms you down at the same time. It's very interesting. Things that move too fast. Once you ascend, you're not gonna be satisfied with being around a vibration or a frequency that does not complement yours. If it doesn't, you're gonna get all like cringy and uncomfortable and just have like reactions and shit, and you're just not gonna. And this is a spirit protecting you, because you never really know people until you really, really know a motherfucker. You don't really know a motherfucker. People have all kinds of thoughts running through their head. Those thoughts change their vibrations. You pick up on those vibrations, whether they're trying to hurt you with those thoughts or not, don't matter. If you're standing next to an imbalanced person after you've ascended, you're going to know it, and you're going to not like it. You're not judging them, but as an ascended individual, your relationships will change. You're only going to want to be around high vibrational people, and you will walk away from things that don't serve you. Number 9. Oh my God, number 9. Alanis Morrissette, "Forgiven." Yeah, I was born in 1982, 90s baby, but it is what it is. Forgiven. This is from the Jagged Little Pill album that came out in 1995. We'll remember that beautiful, beautiful album, the cover with Alanis' face, the cool tones, those greens, the turquoise on the right and the red on the left. Mm, mm, mwah. Talking about listening to a record on repeat. You all know how good Jagged Little Pill was. This was before Alanis went to India and found peace and shit. I mean, we love that she ascended and found peace, but there was something about the anger in this album for Jagged Little Pill that just had everybody like, yeah. Oh, you ought to know. So in this song, she says, we all had our reasons to be there. We all had a thing or two to learn. She's talking specifically about her Catholic experience. We all needed something to cling to, so we did. Before we ascend, and people who have not yet ascended will cling to anything, anything, any vice, anyone, anything except for God in any kind of meaningful, truthful, deep way. They'll cling to anything except for shit that'll actually help them. They'll cling to what society tells them to. They'll cling to what the church tells them. But once you ascend, you can see this. You can see it for what it is. Alanis continues, we all had delusions in our head. We all had our minds made up for us. We had to believe in something, so we did. When you ascend, it's like Neo in the Matrix getting pulled out of that motherfucking fish tank or whatever the fuck kind of primordial goo fluid shit they had them people in. No more illusions. No more going with the flow for the flow's sake. Shit has to make sense. You start to get concerned about who it is, why it is, where do these people come from, what do they want, who are they really, what do they do in their spare time, what's their prayer life like. You get very fucking picky about who you let around you, what you believe. Not interested in anybody making your mind up for you. All right. I'm not saying drop everything and go live on the side of a mountain, but fuck it. If you want to drop everything, go live on the side of a mountain, then fucking go drop everything and live on the fucking side of a mountain. If that's what you have to do, and that's what God is really leading you to do. This song here is talking about identifying ways in which you thought you were thinking for yourself in the past, and really you weren't. Sometimes we think we are, but really that's still subconscious tapes. Okay. You see this a lot. I mean, in a lot of fucking places, in church, masculine groups of friend circles, probably feminine groups of friend circles, anywhere there's like some sort of societal pressure. Why are you doing what you're doing? Can you yet answer? Once you ascend, then you will be able to answer who you are and why you're doing what you're doing, and be able to render a reason for every person you allow in your life and be able to state their value unequivocally and vouch for it. Nobody's there just to help you fill a void or to have an experience with. Everybody is there for a fucking purpose. Otherwise, they're not gonna be there. Numero ocho, Back to Good by the beautiful boys in the band Matchbox 20. Back to Good is a song by American rock band Matchbox 20, released as the fifth single from their 1996 debut album, Yourself or Someone Like You. It was released in September of 1998, quoting Wikipedia. Now, in this video, it, it, it was like a lots of commotion. It's interesting. I love it. Open with this little girl depicting an angel at the beginning. A lot of busyness. It's like people maybe at a club, a lot of shirtless guys and things like that. Drag queen-esque looking individuals, a lot of androgyny going on. And beautiful things like that. But the thing about it is nobody was really happy. Okay. Everybody in this video was in a constant state of motion, constant state of flux. And by the end of it, we're seeing these monochrome blue cold tones come up that are really echoing the hollowness that this song is trying to convey. Hollowness in spite of incessant activity. All right. And you would think that because at the end of this video, these people have been out all night, have done all these things, and they look pissed. Like they don't look satiated, they don't look satisfied, they don't look content. For all their efforts, they still want more. They're still not pleased. And so some of the lyrics say, and everybody here knows everybody here is thinking about somebody else. Because everyone here hates everyone here for doing just like they do. And it's best if we all keep this quiet instead. Ciao. Well, everyone here is wondering what it's like to be with somebody else. This here is talking about like a restless mind. Everybody's mind is not where they're at. So they're dating this person, but they want to sleep with that person. They're in a relationship with this person, but they really wish they were in a relationship with another person. They're in their house, but they wish they were on some fucking island some damn where. They're not here. And in the scripture, it warns us about having a mind that's alienated from people. It's not a good thing when you have like a group of people here who, fuck, what's coming to my mind is in the previous song, in the first song, the guy was talking about, some of the lyrics say, you got what you wanted, but you can't help but think of me. It almost sounds like he was talking about a narcissistic female. It's interesting what God does, because when people are with cheaters, it's like, but when the cheater is with us, the faithful person, that cheater likes to think about other people. When the faithful person leaves the cheater, then a part of God's curse upon them is to smite them in such a way that they're never going to get over the person who left them, because God controls everything. He do whatever he wants. And so, it's common. I hear it all the time. It's just like textbook. It's just like textbook. So their curse and their karma is, since when they were with a faithful person, they wanted to have their minds alienated from that person to be on other motherfucking people. Now that they're no longer with the faithful person, their mind is alienated for whoever they call themselves being with. And now their mind is on the person that was faithful to them the whole time. So no matter what way they try to slice it, since they wanted to be in a state of being in one place, but wishing they were somewhere else, God makes it so they have to stay that way. Are you talking about a tortured form of living? Okay. Or perhaps in the afterlife. Just because somebody dies doesn't mean they escape karma. Because God can take a spirit and make their ass look at shit that makes them fucking cringe and pine away in agony. People don't like to talk about that side of God, but we got sides to us. We're not all nice, fluffy fucking titty bears. We get pissed. We get angry. We are nothing but small microcosms of God. He has the full brunt of any emotion or any emotional spectrum. That he is the full embodiment of it all. We work to fully acknowledge and sense and feel emotion. That's already God. So we can get angry and do this and do that. God can too. He's benevolent. He's nice, but he has that other side to him too. It is not for us to be worried about it. He gonna do what he want to do. And when God's judgment falls on people, all you say is, you are worthy, Lord, because you have judged us. And then you move the fuck on. Like, it just reminded me that, but in this song, it's talking about nobody's happy with what they have. But also what Rob Thomas and the boys in Matchbox 20 is saying is that there's no way to fix it either. At some point, this song is talking about, this shit is so fucked. This shit is so damn bad. There's nothing we can do with it. This won't change. That's why in the dream that I had while I was arguing with the ex, there was nothing that was gonna fix the situation, because I can't change nobody else. And God was just like, well, then move on. I'm gonna move you on from it. And that's it. So when you ascend, and this is why I keep harping on the fact that you have got to just turn people loose. There is some, be it your family, chosen family, blood family, parents, friends, coworkers, fucking cats, pets, dogs, parrots, whatever the fuck you have. You got some low vibrational ass animal, whatever. Some shit just won't ever go back to good. And that is why I put that song here. Some shit just is not ever going to go back to good. Once you ascend, you ain't got time to be worrying about trying to fix shit that won't be fixed. You got a whole destiny and soul's purpose and calling and things and shit that you need to be going on, trotting on down the road and getting to. Remember, darlings, my precious people, there's like 9 billion people in the world. Do you know how easy it is to replace a motherfucker? We don't want to, but if we have to, we do. God has not left us without in this aspect. I will use the word options. You know how I feel, because I'm using it positively, and it's regrettable if we must move on, but it's not like we're strapped. It's not like there's nobody else to love us, or nobody else to be family to us, or nobody else to guide us in a parental role, or Nobody else that we can share love to. We got everything we need in this earth. What Lucifer would do is try to make you think that all you have are those people. No, you don't. Brother, mother, father, sister are action words. People have to act like it. If they don't, well, then they get fired and they no longer fit the bill. That's all there is to it. It's not automatic, and there is nobody you have to have. Because who really is your father, mother, sister, brother, friend, child is people who love you and accept you unconditionally, not necessarily family you were born into. There's scripture, you can go and look it up. I can't remember what it is, but Jesus was ministering and it was a packed house. And then Mary and I think one of his brothers came saying, and then the people told him, hey, your family here, your mom and your brother or whatever here. And he was like, who is my mother and brother? Whoever follows these commandments. Jesus was talking about chosen family right there. Family who you actually have shit in common with. And it is no longer the people you grew up with, no longer the people who used to be your tribe. Then so be it, because you don't have the same mind anymore once you ascend. And if those people are not on the same mind, you will fall out of agreement with them. And two, as the scriptures say, cannot walk together unless they be agreed. And once you fall out of agreement with shit, it's gonna fall off of you. So stop trying to force shit to work when there is no getting back to good. Number 7 is our girl Ariana Grande coming in with a no tears left to cry. Quoting Wikipedia, it was released on April 20th in 2018 by Republic Records as the lead single from her 4th studio album, Sweetener. Steve Roden stated this about the lowercase tendencies. I noticed that the song title for No Tears Left to Cry were in all lowercase, and I think she chose to do that with every song on this album. So I did a little digging into why. Steve Roden is like a music industry professional, or he was. He died last year. God rest his soul. Hallelujah, Jesus. But Steve Roden stated this about the lowercase tendencies which he began to develop in his later works. It bears a certain sense of quiet and humility. It doesn't demand attention. It must be discovered. It is the opposite of capital letters, loud things which draw attention to themselves. Some artists have chosen all caps, some lower caps, some don't really give a fuck. I just thought I'd throw that little lanyap in there. Lanyap is a word that down here in Creole Cajun land that just means like random. It just means like random. And so no tears left to cry. I put this song in here to remind you that even though you're ascending, you will have plenty of fucking tears to cry. It's not, and it is not shade to Ariana, because there's some things that I'm talking about in her lyrics too, but I wanted to just ascend and skip off into the sunlight with my new name, my new life and everything, and just not cry anymore. I was like, okay, I see where I messed up. I've let everyone go and I'm just ready to fucking be happy. It didn't go that way. There was still like emotions and trauma and shit that had to come out. Yeah, I was still finding myself crying or being in ceremonies or under psychedelics and still tears. So I'm just letting you know, the ascension is going to be messy and you might be crying for longer than what you think. There is a culture that believes that those emotional tears are called tears of the way, the path to enlightenment, the path to ascension, the path to inner child healing, fill in the blank, the path to clarity, the tears of the way. So let those tears fall, let them out, be purged. Okay? Be purged and just let it go. Just let it go. I love how in this video for No Tears Left to Cry, Ariana, she's like walking upside down. The whole orientation of it is not usual. That is exactly what a spiritual ascension looks like. Your point of view is going to flip. It's going to be like you're in another dimension because you are. And how you view things is going to be contrary to the way most people view things. And then here she's walking on what to us looks like the ceiling, but perhaps in her world, that ceiling is actually the floor. So when you ascend, you will have a very unique point of view that will not look like other people's, and that's totally fine. That's kind of the point. She says, right now I'm in a state of mind I want to be in like all the time. once you settle into your ascension, you feel how fucking awesome it is. You're gonna wanna be that way, like, all the damn time. And the tears you won't have left to cry is over some shit that didn't work, where there was no getting back to good. You're not gonna sit around crying over relationships that didn't last, that moved too fast. For a moment, sure, you gonna need to go to counseling, do your psychedelics, see a hypnotherapist, do some neural linguistic programming, biofeedback, yoga, something. I mean, to cut off a parent, a sibling, a lover, a relative. So if somebody was close to you, it should put you through something emotionally if some person actually meant something to you. But you ain't gonna cry over it forever. No, you won't. I mean, I couldn't see an end to the fucking tears, but I ain't crying no more. The day came where it left. But it's like faded slowly over time. Who knows what your deliverance will look like? But what I will guarantee you, if you're willing to let shit go, God will take it from you and you will get delivered. She goes on, "Oh, I just want you to come with me. We're on another mentality." Of course, you're on another mentality because you've ascended. She says, "We're way too fly to partake in all this hate. We out here vibing, baby." Yes. And ascension is the sort of thing that makes you truly fucking happy. You might think you're happy, and and some of y'all are, but there's yet a higher level of happiness available to you. I thought I was living life before, not like this. This is so much fucking better than than the life I had before everything went up in flames. I wouldn't change a fucking thing. But I'm saying that now. But in this song, Ariana and her boo that she talking about are making a conscious choice to not partake in the foolishness of the world. When you ascend, you will come above the negative popular voice, the controlling voice, the low vibrational voice, whatever it is. You're not gonna be throwing shade at people, talking about people, running mess about people, cheating on people, sleeping around, having your body out there like that. You're not gonna be for the streets. Like in any type of way, shape, form, or fashion, be it by the use of your mouth, mind, energy, you will understand the true value of things. You view people as an eternal soul and not just as a sack of flesh to have experiences with, which is so shallow, so nimble-brained, and so basic. Number 6 is the lovely and talented Miss Blair St. Clair, the drag queen from season 10 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Some of her quotes from that season were, "I do declare, don't burn yourself, Tyra," which she would usually say, I think, to Dusty Ray, and shit like she would say shit like she gets mistaken for like a 12-year-old, which I agree with because every year I get younger. I'm gonna be 13 this year, deal with it. I love the fact that in this video, Blair St. Clair does like an airline thing. She's flying, kind of serving me some Britney Spears toxic vibes, but not quite, but kinda. And they're all like, "Thank you for flying, Blair St. Air," and everything. And it's so like, it's so cheeky, it's so campy. I so fucking love it. But the depth of this song cannot be overstated. Her lyrics, "It's not like you knew me. I live in the world and the screen got too good at painting the dream." It's something about not living your truth, not living authentically. There are people who will, say, marry people for 20 years, have children, and be like, "I never really loved that person." Not they used to love them and then fell out of love with them, however the fuck that happens. They just never did. See, some people can put themselves into a state of mental regression or repression. Yeah, repression, where they lie to themselves to the extent that they can do this shit for like decades at a time. People's truth can get repressed to them by society. Don't be gay. Don't be trans. Don't be black. Fuck, don't be. Just don't be. And then we can settle into that and then begin to believe the lies. And then we begin to think how other people want us to think until we ascend and we get on this plane with Blair St. Clair and we take the fuck off. And we look down at those basic bitches we left behind and we just don't look back. We love you, basic bitches, but you are basic. And so what it is what it is. She says, I'm gonna turn the tide. I'm gonna live my life the way I want, to, no matter what they say. I'll do it all my way. This song fucking hits. The way I want to, the way I want to. This is Blair St. Clair understanding, fuck, I wasn't living for myself like I thought I was, but not anymore. I rebuke you, Satan, and from this motherfucking day forth, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want. Now, when you ascend, as I stated earlier, you ascend unto the divine, so you will co-create with the divine. You want to do what the divine is telling you to do, but your thoughts will be yours. You're yet consciously choosing the divine. It won't be what some human told you to do. You're going to dismiss all that. God is going to take away all that fear out of you lurking around in your subconscious, pulling on you and causing you to make decisions that you might not be aware of. Blair St. Clair goes on to say, I've come undone, but now I've pulled myself together. And I'm breaking free to fly because it's now or never. He says, sometimes you got to let it fall down to build it back up again. Sometimes you got to go a little crazy to find your way back home. My God. And ascension is a coming undone. Like in my dream, it was the fire. There is no you after an ascension. You will, the whole point is this, you're not the same. Okay. Sometimes you gotta let it fall down. You just have to. You will look crazy to people. People are not gonna understand what the fuck you're talking about, why you're doing all these things, why you're making these changes, why are you changing your name, why are you packing up all your shit and moving to New York, why are you doing this, why are you getting ready to go? I came through like a fucking whirlwind and just flipped every fucking thing upside down and all the way around. And my mom was like, I was explaining to her what the fuck what she was like, okay, as long as you know why and you praying and you understand, go with it, Nick. I know it made no motherfucking sense to her at all. Okay. It's okay if you look crazy. The only person the opinion who's matters is the Lord. So what he thinks is not an opinion, it's fact. And this is actually the only solid motherfucking truth. Who gives a damn what the fuck somebody thinks? You're gonna have to stand strong in your ascension because there will be voices trying to talk you out of it, possibly voices trying to talk you out of it. And you gotta know. You gotta know why you're doing, what you've been through, what's brought you to this point. If you feel the divine working with you, God working with you that way, go fucking ahead and go that type of crazy. Because crazy means you're starting to not act like everybody else. That's what really people are saying. How dare you get free of this thing that has us bound and we can't break free too? That's really what they're saying. They're trying to crawfish your ass and pull you back down into the damn crawfish bucket. All right. Mhm. Number 5 is that beautiful, delicious boy, man, Shawn Mendes. In My Blood, the Wikipedia tells us In My Blood is a song recorded by Canadian singer Shawn Mendes, written by Geoffrey Burton. Scott Harris is producers. It was released by Island Records on March 22nd, 2018 as the lead single from Mendes' self-titled third studio album. It was nominated for Song of the Year at the 61st Annual Grammy Awards and won Single of the Year at the Juno Awards in 2019. In My Blood also won Choice Pop Song at the Teen Choice Awards. Girl, what can I say about this song? First of all, shout out to Shawn for having the balls, okay, and the nutsack to sing this song. And I believe he was talking specifically about his personal anxiety in this song and struggles with like his mental health issues. For a man in this day and time to be transparent about psychiatric issues, child, he's invited to the cookout. This boy gets mad fucking props and credits for being like a fucking man and actually owning his shit and being vulnerable and transparent. And I think he's fucking sexy for doing that. Uh, That is a sexy man. Not because I mean he's pretty to look at, but he said that. He did that. He said what other men wouldn't. That gets him all kinds of respect and credit in my book. The title itself, In My Blood, so many times through all the tragedy of last year, even through the Ascension itself, there was times I was like, "Fuck, I know if I can handle this." In this song, he talks about the walls caving in, the medicine is strong enough. What can I numb this with? None of that's going to work. You can't drug your way out of an ascension. I mean, the psychedelics I did help me to understand what was happening. I didn't turn to that to try to numb it. I didn't turn to them to try to numb the pain of all the severing of relationships I did either. I turned to it to try to help enlighten me, to try to help me come to grips with it or to process it better. But there's no the only way out an ascension is through. You can't go around it. You can't go above it. You can't go under it. But sometimes I've heard that some people go seeking certain masters and people and potions and solutions to activate an ascension intentionally. And I think to myself, as beautiful as the results are, why the fuck would somebody in their right ever loving mind go and seek this type of metamorphosis because they just feel like it's time for it to happen or because they just want to force it to happen? Girl, because when you start something like that, I guess I don't even know if it can be started because you want it to start. I think I've heard people saying it, but then that's what people say. People do tend to embellish. But when you start it, it's not like you can like flip a switch and turn it off. You just in there. You out there. You in the thick of it. And like I said, some practitioners say they don't end. I'm not saying go out there and find somebody to force you into an ascension. This is about when it happens naturally, or if it comes upon you, or if you're growing with God or the divine, and then it happens. And this is to help you identify through. I'm not saying go out there and go hunt you down an ascension. There's a lot of spiritual growth that can happen, a lot of changes and deliverances that can help you out of any situation you're in that does not have to be a full-on spiritual ascension or an awakening or Kundalini rising, whatever you want to call it. But Shawn says, it isn't in my blood. No matter how much I thought about giving up, quitting, felt like I was dying in many ways I did. I would listen to this song and remind myself, hey, there's nothing about DeVannonSeraphino that's a quitter. From being in the military, crawling under barbed wires, and going through all the shit that I did in the Air Force, to being homeless now twice, to growing up in an abusive fucking household, physical, verbally, energetic, emotional, in every fucking type of fucking way, sexually abusive. There's no quitting. It's too late for that. And this song very beautifully and very powerfully and potently helped me to remember that giving up is not in my blood. That's not what we do here. I'm not cut from that cloth. And the very angels around me would not let me give up either. And so I say that, but when somebody's in the thick of it, you need music like this to help you remember that you just gotta fucking push to keep going. And that there is light and it does get better. But there was so many fucking dark days that I just could not find fucking light. Which might sound, I don't know how the fuck it sounds, because yet I still had to get on this microphone because this is a part of my calling and try to teach and preach light to other people during the time where I couldn't find it for myself. And so I had to, I mean, it was there, but I was blocked from it because I was going through everything. But we do what we must and we get up and we press forward because quitting is not in our blood. Go through your ascension. It is worth it on the other side. Number 4 is a song called Good Energy by that pretty young thing, young Wylin. Okay. We'll read an excerpt from Hype Magazine. So the hypemagazine.com says in the initial months of 2024, Young Wyland's impactful song, Good Energy, has emerged as a global sensation, marking the rise of this independent artist known for the uplifting anthem, I Don't Need No Negativity. Young Wylin has garnered attention from fans and celebrities alike. I will place the link to this article on Young Wylin in the show notes. So the lyrics here, all I need is good energy. I don't need no negativity around me. This has got that island rhythm. It's got that rhythm. High frequency. I'm talking high as God. And I'm gonna read the Spanish part too for my Spanish peeps, and basically says the same thing. Yo no quiero mala vibra cerca de mí, puesto pa mí. Gracias a Dios que a los cantazo aprendí. I mean, need I say more? When you ascend, only the best energies will do. You're gonna start shopping for energies, quote unquote, shopping, picking energies like you shopping for Prada, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Givenchy. You're gonna be like, only the best will do. This is Young Wylin saying straight up, only good energy. Even in this song, he lists out certain numerical frequencies, which apparently he researched to find the frequencies. Because when we say frequencies, there are certain practitioners that can hook machines up to you and actually present to you a numerical frequency for like, and you can think happy thoughts, it'll register one number. If you think about some pissed off shit, the number lowers. So the term frequency, as spiritual as it is, has a physical manifestation in actual frequencies. That's why certain music can be played at certain frequencies, binaural beats. You see the people on YouTube with those singing bowls or whatever the fuck they're playing at this hertz, that hertz. That shit's been studied, and certain frequencies are said to have a certain result. People carry those same frequencies. So if you got a low vibrational person around you, no matter how pretty you think they are, no matter how sexy, no matter what y'all might do, if they energy ain't right, that shit's gonna drop your ass down to hell where they're at. And so once you understand this and you have a super high vibration, no, ma'am, we're not doing no more of that low vibration. No, 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 no. Not today, Satan, and not tomorrow either. You got us fucked up. We're not doing that shit. That is what this dude is talking about in this song. He says, light up the sage, smelling like hickory, trying to heal scars. I got different type of injuries. Holistic medicine, different type of remedies. Human, but I'm feeling like a different type of entity. And I tell you, when you ascend, it's like you're gonna be human, but not really. Yeah, you here, but a greater part of you feels like you on the other side, or with God, or with the divine. It's like you're human, yet more spiritually aware. Like your connection with the cosmos and with the angels. I mean, at least this is my experience. I don't know what it's like inside other people's heads, but fuck, it's got to be somewhere. I mean, I've heard that much. Most people experience an increased connection with nature, with the divine, with cosmos, an increased understanding of things, an increased sensitivity to energies. That's why with people who I know who have ascended, like we don't do shit like watch solar eclipses. We don't, because we have all kinds of like beliefs that we understand about that. We don't blow out candles on birthday cakes and things like that. I ain't saying it's the devil if you do that, but we don't. We have the thing about handling light a certain way. I would do another show on birthdays, and I'll get into birthday cakes and things like that. But shout out to Young Wall, and I look forward to hearing more fucking happy ass upbeat songs like this. And in this blog, I have the links to all the fucking videos and everything, and you can see it. So song number 3 is another song called Walking Away. I don't mind that Walking Away is twice in this playlist, 2 different songs, because that's really what Ascension is all about. You walking away from people in the past, from yourself in the past who you used to be. Some of us have walked away from cities. We walked away from everything. Okay, and that's totally fine. You got to walk away, baby. Now, Craig, walking away from Wikipedia, Craig, walking away is a song by English singer Craig David. It was written by David and Mark Hill and released as the 3rd single from his debut studio album, Born to Do It, in 2000. On 20 November 2000, it reached number 3 in the United Kingdom and number 1 in New Zealand, where it was the most successful song of 2001, according to the Recording Industry Association of New Zealand. Girl, this is another pretty motherfucker here. I'm not gonna lie. You serving us some of that good black hair, kind of like that yellow bone. Real okay. Oh, somebody get that man my number. But then the lyrics say, I'm walking away from the troubles in my life. I'm walking away, oh, to find a better day. I love, and all throughout the song, he's talking about basic ass people you have to leave behind. He says he finally realized some people don't want to compromise. Like Matchbox 20 said, there's no getting back to good. Many people, unfortunately, throw their energy and strength away trying to stay with people that really don't like them, be it friends, family, others. Even children can emancipate themselves from parents. Okay, if some of them need to, depending on what the fuck the parents are doing to those kids. Thank God for that way out. If some shit's not working, y'all, it's not working. Who was that? Lauren Hill said somebody fucking said this ain't working. This is crazy. Come on, y'all. What I love about Craig is like he's walking away consciously, not just walking away, but for a purpose. He said, I'm walking away from the troubles in my life. I'm walking away, oh, to find a better day. The decision that you're making during your ascension, besides to ascend onto God physically in this plane, is to help you. You're making a decision for your highest self, for your highest good, not for other motherfuckers. This ascension is all about you. And the more that you can serve your highest good and improve, then actually the better you can show up to the relationships in your life for the people who you choose to keep. So this means you become a better lover, a better parent, a better sibling, a better coworker, a better yoga instructor, a better mindfulness teacher, a better supervisor, a better project manager, a better actor, a better sound guy, whatever the case may be, a better author, a better singer. Everything about you enhances and changes and you get better. This is all about moving forward. So what Craig is saying, I'm walking away, but it's to find a better day. All right. There's a blessing and a benefit here. All this stress will not have been for naught. Number 2 is Come Alive from The Greatest Showman. The Greatest Showman original motion picture soundtrack. This here came out in 2017. It was released by Atlantic Records. This is the Greatest Showman, fabulous soundtrack. I was here for Zendaya. I was here for Zac Efron. I was here for Hugh Jackman. I was here for all the peoples. It was beautiful. It was sexual. It was non-binary. It was entertaining. It was moving. It made me angry. It made me cry. It gave me the full spectrum of emotions. And I listened to this motherfucking song, this soundtrack, several times last year. The lyrics say come alive. Because you're, let me read it. It says, because you're just a dead man walking, thinking that's your only option, but you can flip the switch and brighten up your darkest day. Sun is up and the color's blinding. Take a world and redefine it. Leave behind your narrow mind, you'll never be the same. Does that not sound like what I've been telling you this whole hour? I've been talking. They continue, come alive, go and light your light, let it burn so bright, reaching up to the sky, and it's open wide, you're electrified. Oh yeah, you're gonna have a more electrified energy when you ascend. You see, and the world becomes a fantasy, the lyrics continue, and you're more than you could ever be because you're dreaming with your eyes wide open. And you know you can't go back again to the world that you were living in because you're dreaming with your eyes wide open. So come alive. There are some days since I've ascended that I do feel like I'm dreaming while I'm yet awake. I ain't saying shit looks foggy, but it's like, it's kind of like, how can it be this good? Not that I'm questioning how it can be this good, but it's like, fuck, it's really this good. And especially after all the chaos and the turmoil that it took to get here, come alive. That is the whole point of ascending, to truly come alive, because until you ascend, if, at least for me, like I said earlier, I thought I was living. And I guess on many levels I was, but this is like a much truer and purer form of a life than what I had before I ascended. Mm. It's so much sweeter. It's so much more powerful. It's so much more potent. It's so much more yummy and juicy and delicious. It is like, man, it's like I'm squeezing the sweet nectar out of every fucking aspect of life in ways that I never have done before. It's genuine. It's true. And it's in line with the divine. It is something just special about it this time around. It's not the same. Completely different. And The Greatest Showman, I mean, really the whole movie, this a lot of parts of the soundtrack, but this song is about that. Forgetting who you used to be. Like it says in the Hebrew Bible, one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and pressing toward those things which are ahead. Number one is Feeling Good as done by Michael Bublé. Now, let me read this from Wikipedia. Feeling Good, also known as Feelin' Good, is a song written by English composers Anthony Newley and Leslie Bricusse for the musical The Roar of the Grease Paint, The Smell of the Crowd. It was first performed on stage in 1964 by Cy Grant on the UK tour. Nina Simone recorded Feeling Good for her 1965 album, I Put a Spell on You. Yes. The song has also been covered by Sammy Davis Jr. and, of course, Michael Bublé and many other people. At some point last year, after the breakup and when my Ascension had started, child, one day I woke up with this song on my mind in Michael Bublé's version. I couldn't get it off my mind, so I put it on as I showered. I'm gonna tell you, it's so like fucking approps. Okay, totally approps. He's a birds flying high. You know how I feel. That's that connection to nature I was telling you get when you ascend if you didn't have it before. Probably. I would hope that would happen for you. At least it was for me. A strengthening of the connection. Sun in the sky. You know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by. You know how I feel. This dude is chilling. Not to mention looking damn good in this suit and in these cars in this video. Okay. When you ascend, you gonna feel, if not look, like about $1,000,000 fucking bucks, bitch. Okay. Care how drugged down in the fucking dirt and mud, stilettos broke, wig torn, nails popping off, mascara running, funky and funkified you were. When God gets you back together, you gonna be like this Michael Bublé, okay? Who look like he can do every fucking thing in this video. This dude look like he is fucking winning for life. This is how I feel now. This is how I would wake up. I would wake up with this song on my mind. He continues, "Oh, freedom is mine. Once you ascend, you're truly free from system relevance, from thinking you need to be like other people. When you ascend, you are your fucking authentic self, bitch. Period. Full stop. Bang gavel. Close the court. Nothing left to be discussed." He talks here about dragonflies and butterflies, which in many cultures are symbols of transformation. Reminded of a time I was sitting at my house in Louisiana, working at my dining room table, and a swarm of dragonflies. Only once this happened in my life. I mean, a swarm of I don't know how many thousands or millions of dragonflies came and did like this cyclonic type dance in a circle over the lake in the backyard, and in my backyard, and the way the sun danced off of their wing. This was like years ago, but nevertheless, the Lord always knows what we're gonna need for we need it. The way the sun danced off their wings as this many, 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 I don't know, millions of dragonflies just danced around each other in a cyclone. It was just like the most beautiful thing. Wherever cyclones go, they don't leave anything the same. And just so many dragonflies, so many dragonflies. I took a video of it, but it doesn't do it anything that remotely looks like any stream of justice. The video just doesn't capture it. But I thought it was cool that he talks about dragonflies and butterflies in this song. Birds too. Feathers are a huge symbol of power, especially in shamanic circles. I felt more drawn to wearing feathers. That's why you see all these feather earrings. The shamans, feathers, 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 feathers is like everywhere. There's the legend of like the eagle and the condor down there in Mexico. It's beautiful. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me. And he starts this song saying, "Birds in the sky, you know how I feel." By the end of it, he changes it and he says, "I know how I feel." Okay. When he says, "Oh, freedom is mine," and "I know how I feel." So he went from giving a fuck about how to what he knows. And this is him embodying himself for his whole self. This is his ascension. This is his awakening. This is his, or at least whoever wrote this song. This is this is it coming into that knowledge. Oh yeah, I am who I am. I know who I am. I know why I am. I know what I'm sitting here to do, and I'm fucking doing it. This is power. This is strength. This is unshakable. This can't be broken. All right. Wasn't shit bothering him. He's a breeze drifting on by. When you ascend, you ain't gonna worry about shit. Your enemies that sit there and talk about you. Oh well. Oh the fuck well. Anyway, you even try to throw shade. Who cares? It won't matter. Like you've ascended now. You've outgrown them. If it's anything like how mine was, like how in that dream I referenced at the beginning of this, how when I was pushed through that mirror, not that my enemies ever had any power over me in the first damn place because I'm with the Lord. They can't, it's like there's a permanent gulf between us. Now that I'm talking about people from the former life. I mean, there's new enemies, new devils to deal with now, but one thing we know, those bitches from the past not gonna be no problems anymore. Not that they ever were. They're more like just kind of like annoying fucking flies and shit. But I mean, that's just a part of life. You're never gonna get rid of the pestilence. But the pestilence doesn't have to have any quantifiable effect on you either. But nevertheless, you don't have to worry about none of that because your enemies can't follow you where you're going. They're basic. They won't ascend. I mean, or at least at the point of your ascension, they won't have. And so when they're gonna never have to deal with all their nasty karma and all of that too, which ain't none of your business. Breeze drifting on by. Talking about the sky, just how beautiful fucking life is. I told you earlier, like once I begin to ascend after I get into that relationship, the food did taste better. It's like cooking got better. Fucking flowers smell better. When you under heavy negative energy, that shit can affect you like in every type of damn way when you accept low vibrational people, low vibrational frequencies in whatever form they might come. You understand what I'm telling you? Like literally the amount of color that is able to pierce your fucking retinas that come into your eyes. I hear levels and depths of a music. I've been listening to some of these same songs for fucking decades. And it's like I'm hearing words and layers to it. It's not because I changed the listening device. I changed. And I can hear more like more fucking sound is getting into my ear, more light into my eyes. Ever since I cut all of those low vibrational negative people off and got closer to God and accepted this ascension child. Like literally what this man is saying and the people who wrote this song is saying, fucking everything is better. Like literally, no exaggeration. That sums up the top 10. But I want to give an honorable mention out to Princess Nokia, who wrote Harley Quinn. Okay, we gonna get a tad bit ratchet, just a tad bit. This came from her album Everything Sucks, which I believe came out in 2020. I believe that the multitudinous fuck yous in this song sum it up quite nicely. And I quote Miss Harley Quinn here, fuck your mama and daddy, fuck your sibling too. Your siblings too, fuck your auntie and uncle, and fuck your cousins and crew. Fuck your ugly ass baby. Fuck these bitches that's hating. Fuck these stupid ass trolls who don't want to see me famous. I suppose I could just drop the mic and tell y'all goodbye. I mean, that's what she talks about in this song. I mean, some of the opening lyrics, she says, welcome to the circus. I'm causing a disturbance. I'm twisted in the head and I'm a little bit annoying. I'm gross. I'm sick. I'm too legit to quit. Got bitches showing tits and boys moshing in the pit. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna need to take on a little bit of this Harley Quinn attitude and not give two shits one fuck or a good goddamn. about what somebody thinks about your ascension, your growth, your path to enlightenment, or whatever it is that you feel like you need to do. Your family doesn't own you. They cannot control you. Your friends neither. Your lovers. Everybody should be in your life as you want them there, and you should be in anybody else's life as they want you there. Period. And anybody has a free right to walk away from people who are abusing them or hating on them or not good for them. And so, welcome to the circus. I'm causing a disturbance. There is some sort of connection in between a person's. It's like when I ascended, and I don't know why this is. There are a lot of mysteries in the spirit realm. I am a very knowledgeable person, but that doesn't mean I know it all. My departure from people, it's like it caused a storm in some of them because I was shown this in my dreams. And I don't know if this was some sort of karma, gosh. I mean, obviously it was of God, but it's like when my energy, which I actively withdrew from people in a very conscious way, and when my energy was withdrawn from people and I pulled it away and I reinforced that by not engaging in conversation with people in any way, electronic, verbal, whatever, that I would see certain people in my dreams, the hell they were catching and going through for no other reason other than that DeVannon has departed from them. And behold, not me, but the spirit of God that is upon me, because I'm like, who am I? Any kind of positive influence or effect or whatever presence was the Lord, it wasn't me. But people better not be as concerned about us leaving them and better be concerned about if they piss God off and don't live right about his presence departing from them. So that's when you really fucked. And so when she says that she's causing a disturbance, I believe it. Standing in your power, God's power mixed with his power is something that will just fuck with people because people are insecure. They don't stand in their power. So if you're free, they don't like it because they're not free. You leaving a whole bunch of, like, say, a narcissistic family behind like I did fucks with them because they know they're not right. So, and then or whatever, like you're ascending. It's like a slap in the face that you weren't trying to necessarily do, but it is what it is. Because if everybody had similar circumstances around you and similar variables, you made it out. They broke asses are still. I mean, spiritually broke asses are still back yonder ways. It makes it pretty strikingly clear that it's a choice to play the victim, stay caught in the past, and not fuck around, not fucking be serious about God and play with God. For one of us to make it out and leave the others behind makes them feel like shit. And they should. And like it's very well warranted because they could have been up here with us, but they chose to fuck around with bullshit. And and the last thing Miss Quinn says, I don't give no fucks. Matter of fact, not to. I'm disrespectful, offensive, and I've got nothing to prove. Well, she's right in her own sweet little way. Miss Harley Quinn has summed up the attitude. I think this is the right ascension attitude. I did what I did. I went through what I went through. And fuck you if you don't care for it. Ta ta now. The only one you have to prove anything to is God, for he is the only one who holds the keys of life and death. When the books are open, the names in the Lamb's book of life and judgment, all that power belongs to God. Not your mammy, not your pappy, not your lover, not your children, not no damn body. That's why you hear me say, I literally do not care what a human thinks about me. I am only concerned about my reputation in the spiritual realm. I accept constructive criticism, feedback from people. If I'm fucking up, yeah, my people who are close to me come and tell me, or people who have a higher knowledge than me, of course. I listen to people, but that is not the same as that is not the same as like letting what they think like control how I think about myself or change my life. I'll take what they have to say, consider it, take it to God, mesh it around, see what I come back with. I won't change it because they said change it. It's got to line up with the life of the spirit that I feel within me. Nevertheless, this concludes the list. Thank you for taking time to invest in yourself by listening to my top 10 plus one honorable mention Ascension playlist. I'm thankful that the Lord selected this day and time for it to come out. Enjoy your ascension. Be faithful to yourself and to the Lord through it. And I look forward to seeing how all of you ascending people are going to help the world, because that is the point. We ascend unto God and we ascend for ourselves too, to find a better day. Write me, comment on the blog, let me know what your favorite song is, or on the YouTube channel or whatever, if you feel like it. I understand when I drop these shows, God enters into people and starts dealing with people. It is not necessarily the most pressing thing to comment on stuff. I get it. I'm thankful for the conversation that I am able to have. But the most important thing is that you go through changes and that you heal and that you get better and that you ascend if it is time for you to do that. That far supersedes commenting on anything. But if you fucking feel like it, let a bitch know which one of these songs you like, or if you got some Ascension music or whatever. Anyway, child, I'm going to put some chicken in the oven and do me some Taebo so I can lose a couple more pounds before I head to Puerto Vallarta Pride next week. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you all so much for joining us today and for taking some time to invest into yourself and into the lives of your loved ones. Please visit us at sexdrugsandjesus.com and check out our resource page, our spiritual service offerings, my blog, my books, and other writings that God has partnered with me to create. Find us on any social media platform. Stay strong, my people, and just remember that everything is going to be all right.